Yeah, I just wanted to say before I started, definitely wanted to say thank you guys. It's an honor to be here. I'm walking in the shadow of a giant, Coach Odell, rightfully so. Great man, one of the Mount Rushmore of D-line coaches, and I just want to say to him and his family, thank you so much for this opportunity. He's done a great job, and I've watched him in my short career, and I'm looking forward to working with him. And thank you guys for everything. And me and my lady look forward to being here and being in Tallahassee and getting to know the Noel family. But definitely wanted to honor Coach Odell for everything that he's done, and I'm greatly honored and very humbled, and look forward to working with you guys. So thank you.
We're going to start with Ira on your right side there.
Hey, Coach. Ira Schofeld with warchant.com. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Kind of on that topic, I talked to Travis Johnson recently, and he talked really highly about you from knowing you in the league. What were your impressions of Florida State's defensive line through the years? You talked about Coach Odell and just kind of how excited are you to kind of carry on that tradition?
I'm very excited. It was always the standard of D-line play. And if you were going to learn anything about D-line play in the history of defensive line, it was going to start at a university like this. And, he's done a tremendous job. He's produced so many pros, produced so many great young men. And, that's what college football is about. It's not always about going to the NFL. It's about doing the best you can for the young men. It's about the kids. And, I want to go out there and continue that tradition of producing great defensive linemen here and producing great young men, and I'm excited to do it. And, Trap, I was a young rookie in the NFL, and I got to know him as well, and, look forward to, getting to know all the alum and, picking their brains and, just learning as much as I can so that we can get this thing on the right track.
Okay. Brendan, left side.
Hey, Coach. Brendan Sinone with Knowles 24/7. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. You were in a good situation. What about this job, this opportunity, made it to where, I don't know, a risk, but anytime you move, anytime you change jobs, there's always some kind of adjustment. What made this worthwhile and intriguing to you, this opportunity?
It's the pinnacle of college football. Florida State speaks for itself. And, I've built great relationships with a lot of coaches. And Tony White is one of the greatest men I've known in my short period of time of knowing him. And he's a great leader and a guy I want to continue to learn from. And at the same time, like I said, if Florida State calls, you're going to answer the phone. And, this is definitely a place I want to make home. And, this is not a place you pick up and go. This is a place you stand on all 10 and, you continue the tradition of greatness. And I plan on doing that. And like I said, I'm just super excited. I can't wait to get with the guys. And, it's gonna be a fun year.
Liam?
Hey, Coach. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Liam Rooney from the Tallahassee Democrat. You kind of touched on it, but can you kind of go further into your relationship with Coach White and kind of the way that he runs his defense and how important your role is in, that success?
Yeah, we got to our previous school together and we learned together. And obviously it was a different defense than that I'm used to and I played in. And, I gave it a chance and I just seen the evil scientist in the film room and a lot of different things that he liked to do. And, he's had success in the ACC. And, like I said, he's a tremendous human being. And that's what's most important to me is being around great people. And he's one of the greatest people I've been around. And, every day he's the same guy. He's the same guy. And I'm still learning from him. And, the defense is still blossoming. And, he's obviously picking my brain from things that I've learned from, coaching and playing. And, when it all comes together, it's a great thing. And I'm just excited to continue to work with him.
Chris?
Hi, Coach Knighton. Chris Ney with Knowles 24/7.
Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What is it that you look for in your defensive lineman? Can you kind of speak on the different roles of the different jobs up there?
Well, for me, it all starts with a mentality, an attacking attitude, a mindset, a big dog mindset. I want tough guys. I want guys that go out and compete. But it all starts with a mentality. If you have the mentality that, you're going to attack every single day as hard as you can, that you're coming out there with that attitude. And like I said, whenever you're talking about a team and building a team and building a successful team, it all starts with the trenches. And I firmly believe it starts with the D-line. They set the attitude for the team. They set, the standard for how things are going to go, how we practice, how we carry ourselves in the community, how we carry ourselves academically. And, I'm going to have a high standard for that. And the guys we recruit, the guys we bring in, And, something that me and Coach Odell have always talked about, about the type of guys that you bring in here, and he's done a tremendous job doing that, and we'll continue to do that.
Peter?
Hey, Coach. Peter Holland, Tallahassee Democrat.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. So, just yesterday, Daryl Jackson just announced that he decided to return. Did you knew that beforehand, or what a chance getting a chance to work with him and feel like there's a fit there?
No, when I first got here, obviously that was a pressing need to, talk to him, and he had, ambitions to go into the NFL, rightfully so. He's a great player, and had an opportunity to come back. And me and him have built a relationship in this short time, and he's developed his trust with me, and me, him, and Coach Odell have had a lot of conversations about things that he can get better at, and making sure that he's the best he can be before he gets to the NFL. And I feel like we got the top guy out of the portal. With getting him back, and I look forward to working with him. And he's one of the biggest human beings I ever saw. He has a great foundation right now with everything he's learned from Coach Odell, and I'm just looking forward to sharpening those tools and turning him into one of the best players in the country.
Ira?
Coach Cooper was saying that you guys were roommates back in the day.
Yeah, my side of the room was cleaner than his, by the way. But, yes, long relationship with Coach Coop, man. That's one of my closest friends, and it's something that it's funny because when we were in college, we always talked about doing what we're doing now and being at the pinnacle of college football and being part of something great. And it's just, God works in mysterious ways, and we were able to cross paths again in coaching and continue to build both of our young careers together. And, me and him go at it every day about, evaluating guys and talking football. But, that's what turned us into really close friends. And I'm happy to be working with him again.
Corey?
Corey Clark with warchant.com. Talking about Daryl Jackson, but just defensive tackles in general, how hard is it to go from a 4-3 to a 3-3-5? Do their roles change? Is he going to be over the center? Do you have an idea what he can be, and what can you do with the guys already on the roster to make them more conducive to a 3-3-5?
Well, when you have a great talent like that, you can line them up anywhere, and that's the beauty of Tony's defense is you never know where guys are going to line up, and it's a lot of crazy things going on in his mind, and then he spits it out, and it's simple. But he has the talent and the skill set to play anywhere on the line, and that's one thing I talked about with him coming back is building that profile of being a versatile D lineman, not just being a guy who can line up over the center. He can line up anywhere. He'll get opportunities to line up over the tackle, show his versatility, his athleticism for his size, and I'm looking forward to working with him. And guys like that, one in a million. So I'm very excited to coach him and expand his profile as a player.
Aslan, back right?
Aslan Javandi with WordChant.com as well as On3. Is there more differences or similarities between like a 3-3-5 and a 4-2-5? I know we hear 3-3-5 at least like amateur people, and we think it's like three guys with their hand in the dirt. But you guys seemingly bring somebody up and have kind of four guys on the line. I mean, will it be a steep learning curve to teach these guys to go from that to this? And what about a 3-3-5 do you think is superior as a former defensive player as opposed to a four down lineman set?
The beauty of it with how Tony calls it is you don't have to change personnel. You don't have to change the way you play up front. The call dictates what type of front we're in, how many DBs we have in, where guys are lined up. So that's the toughest thing about going against Tony's defense is we don't have to change personnel, but we can change how we line up, where guys line up. But the playing style up front, we're going to be attacking, we're going to be vertical, we're going to be in the backfield, and we're going to stop the run on the way to the quarterback. So we're going to be attacking up front. And I look forward to coaching these guys. And Coach Odell has done a great job of, recruiting, and we got a lot of good young guys with a lot of talent that I look forward to coaching and continue to develop.
Ira?
How much of defensive line play is bigger, stronger, and how much of it is technique or tougher?
Well, you always want the bigger, stronger guys, but you got to have guys that are mentally tough. You got to have guys that want to be coached hard. You want to have guys that want to be great. A lot of things right now in college football are going away from football. And we want to find the football guys, right? And rightfully so. The young men are compensated for what they do. It's a business. It's a business, but at the same time, you want to find the guys in recruiting that are football guys and love what they do. And when you sit down with these young men, whether it's in the transfer portal, whether it's high school kids, and you get to know them and their families, you really learn the type of kid, that you're dealing with. And, you just have to stay real diligent in the process of making sure that you're finding the right guys that have the right mindset. Because, we're in the state of Florida. You're going to have great athletes everywhere, but you got to have the right guys that have the right mentality, to go out and dominate every single day and that want to be coach start. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Your social media presence.
Yes.
What attracted you to that? Why, like some coaches don't like social media. Why do you embrace it so much?
I love it. I love it. I like having fun. The kids love it. You know what I mean? I wish I could say a little bit more on there, but, sometimes I'll just send a little picture and let people have an imagination of what they think I'm doing. But, I have a lot of fun with it. It's great for recruiting. It shows that, I have a personality, outside of being a football coach. And, some people like it, some people don't. But, I'm comfortable in my skin. And, like I said, I have a good time with it. And the high school kids, they always hit me up about it like, Coach, you're too funny on Twitter and those type of things. So, at the end of the day, it's good for them to see that, he does have a personality outside of coaching, and I was in those guys' shoes. And like I said, I enjoy doing it, and it's fun for me. It's fun.
You talked about mindset. Coach Hand talked about trying to find guys that love football.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell in a meeting with a kid or two, maybe spend an hour with them, if they love football or not? Like, how do you make that determination? Because it is such a big deal. It's a tough position. It's not always fun to practice, to find guys that love it. How do you figure who those people are?
Right. I think you have to do a good job of getting to know the people around them, right? Getting to know their families, getting to know the high school coaches, getting to know their guidance counselors, asking, are they trying to get better every day academically, right? How hard do they practice in high school, right? How hard are they going, at these camps all over the country? So it's a lot of things that you look into because, you'll hear a lot of things, and obviously, you'll hear guys say, yeah, of course, Coach, I work hard, I do this, but, you get to know their families, where their families come from and what their parents do, and, you get a real close relationship with high school coaches, and like I said, just everybody that they encounter, you want to get feedback on them on what type of young man you're getting, and, first and foremost for me, I look for, great young men that are respectable, right, and they respect people around them, they respect their elders, because if you're not going to listen to mom and dad, you're not going to listen to me, so, I want the right young men in the program that are going to do the right things.
Matt?
Matt Lasser, warchant.com. Kevin Wynn's a guy who signed, I think, right before you got here. Mm-hmm. What have those conversations been like with him, and then what do you think of him talent-wise, having evaluated that?
Right, and I think they've done a good job already recruiting him, and he signed here, and I didn't want to be too recruity in our conversation. I just introduced myself, and, he's an impressive young man. He's really mature for his age when I had a conversation with him, but, he's a grown man, man. He's a grown man. I love his demeanor. I love his temperament on tape, how hard he plays, and his athleticism, obviously for his size, and, have a special relationship with nose tackles being so that I played the position. So I look forward to coaching him, and he's a guy that we're expecting big things from. And, just in our short conversations, he's excited, I'm excited, and, this is where he wants to be. So it was an easy conversation for us.
Aslan Hajavandi with warchant.com. If you had a time machine, Coach, would you rather go back to see the moon landing or go to the 1995 Source Awards?
I would definitely go to the Source Awards. Death Row South is in the building. I do not want to go to the moon. I don't really care what's out there. I don't, before my time, I don't even know if the moon is real. Those are lunchtime conversations that we have, a lot of conspiracies and stuff, but no, yeah, Death Row Records, we're in the building.
Coach, do people still kind of approach you still as pot roast? Or and if so, do you let your players will call you pot roast as well?
The pot roast thing is never going away. It's never going away. I got family members who call me pot roast, players that call me that, people asking they call me that. It's a name I got in Jacksonville, so I'm back in Florida now, so it's not going to go anywhere. And, as a big man, you want a nickname, so, it could have been Shrimp Alfredo, Big Shrimp, Big Alfredo, so I'm glad I ordered pot roast the day I got that name, so I'm happy with it. I'm cool with it. You guys can call me pot roast if you like.
We'll go to Kurt for the last one.
Kurt Weiler, the Osceola. I was going on a similar. I guess I don't know the story. I could probably look up what is the origin of the nickname. Who gave it to you?
Well, there's a lot of stories out there about how I got it, but I'll tell you the truth. I simply ordered it on the plane. It was dark on the plane. It was a 6-hour flight coming back from Seattle to Jacksonville, and Clint Ingram, who was a linebacker on the team at the time. The flight attendant said pot roast. I raised my hand. I was like, right here, and he was like, man, you said that like that was your name, and I'm like. He's the comedian on the team, so I knew, like, all right, I'm a rookie. Let me just shut up. And next day we're doing media and talking about the game, recapping the game, and he's walking over. I'm like, here we go. So he walks over and says, hey, from now on, told the media, hey, y'all call him pot roast. And he's like, hey, that's pot roast. He ate all the pot roast on the plane, which I didn't. I did not. And it stuck with me, but, it's look where we are with it. 15 years later, I'm still pot roast, and it got me a TV commercial and all that. So, big man with a nickname, why not?
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.